You check your phone and find an extra $3,000 in your bank account. Now, what if this began happening every single month? All of these self-driving Teslas are about to become money printers, and in turn, rake it in for Tesla investors. Tesla's full self-driving software, or FSD, is no longer just a fancy version of cruise control. You see, every month or so, I connect my Tesla to my home Wi-Fi. I download and install a software update, and then my car becomes a better self-driving car. Tesla's able to do this because each of the cars they've sold is constantly collecting millions of miles of data. Everyone who buys a Tesla is helping train their full self-driving AI models. So how do you turn on the money printer? Your car won't just sit in your garage, but it'll actively contribute to your wealth by taxiing around while you sleep, picking up and dropping off people like you would with Uber. But now, you don't have to be in the driver's seat. Welcome to the second best reason to own Tesla stock. My name is Ryan Tanaka, and today we're going to explore a game-changing aspect of Tesla that most people are overlooking. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Tesla is not just a car company, but also the leader in real-world artificial intelligence. Tesla is a technology powerhouse that's revolutionizing the transportation landscape, and it's going to fundamentally change the way we move around. Let me take you back to December 2020. It was a sunny afternoon when I took delivery of my long-range Tesla Model Y. I remember the excitement as I approached the vehicle, its sleek white exterior gleaming as the sun set. As I slid into the driver's seat, I was immediately struck by the pristine white interior and responsive high-resolution screen. After working as a Tesla engineering intern in 2015 and 2017, I had been following Tesla for years, so I wasn't surprised that the software was just as nice as the hardware. But even I wasn't prepared for just how transformative this technology would be. The first step after getting the car was to calibrate the cameras. After just 15 minutes of driving, I pulled the stock down twice, and voila! The car was now driving on the highway on its own. The car could stay within the lane lines extremely well. I was confident it would brake if a car stopped in front of us. It could change lanes moderately well, but it wasn't buttery smooth, and it couldn't navigate to exit ramps. This technology was great, but not excellent. It required me to stay attentive and be ready to correct any errors. Tesla made sure I was paying attention by making me physically tug on the wheel every 30 seconds or so. Additionally, they use an internal camera to track my eyes and make sure I was focused on the road. But let's ask a hypothetical question. If those beeps didn't exist, would I have been willing to take a nap? At that time, I wouldn't have even closed my eyes for more than 10 seconds. But fast forward to today, and my perspective has completely changed. If there were no camera that made sure I was paying attention to the road, I'd be comfortable sleeping during all my entire drives. It's not that I'm being reckless or overconfident, it's that the system has improved so dramatically that I'm no longer worried about a critical safety error. Tesla's full self-driving, or FSD, is currently considered driver assistance software, but with the latest update, it might as well be considered 99.9% self-driving. This is a huge deal because the difference between a truly autonomous taxi versus a helpful driver assistance tool is the difference in the car being used for 2 hours per day versus 10 to 20 hours per day. As investors though, we need to think about how much this will cost. Right now, the FSD package is either a one-time purchase of $8,000 or a monthly subscription of $99 per month. Since the software is improving every day and Tesla has increased the price of FSD in the past, we can assume the $99 per month subscription will eventually increase to $199 per month and then $299 per month, and so on. If your car could pick up and drop off people and make a little under $1 per mile, paying anything under $3,000 per month would be a steal, much less $300 per month. Listen to what Elon Musk said at Tesla's 2023 Investor Day. Hey, I wanted to jump in here real quick and let you know that I make educational and inspirational videos about the economy, investing, and business. My goal is to share unique insights that are backed by data and my personal anecdotes. I'm also doing a ridiculous challenge. I'm trying to grow a portfolio to $1 million by July 1st, 2025. And by the end of it, I'm going to be giving away 3 Teslas. If you want a chance to win one of those, sign up with the Google form link below the video, and make sure to follow me on X for updates. Thanks, and let's get back to the video.
This autonomy question is very, very big. because you could potentially have, I don't know, 5 times the utility of the asset that you currently have. So if a passenger car is 10 or 12 hours a week of usage, plus a lot of parking expenses, an autonomous car could be 50 to 60 hours a week or something like that. And you could get rid of a lot of parking expenses. So, if this is true, then as autonomy is effectively turned on for the fleet, it probably will be the biggest asset value increase in history overnight.
So 5x the utility would be worth a minimum of 5x the cost. Therefore, as an investor, can you imagine what would happen if you had Tesla charging $1,000 per month or more for an FSD subscription? Then multiply that by the number of Tesla vehicles in the fleet. And if that fleet grows by millions of vehicles every year, you have a growing amount of super high margin monthly recurring software revenue. This once interesting but not perfectly reliable technology is now a driver replacement and money printer. I want to give context for why all this could unfold the way that I expect, and share data and visuals to support those thoughts. To understand why FSD is so revolutionary, we need to dive into the technology behind it. Unlike traditional driver assistance systems, which rely on a set of pre-programmed rules, Tesla's FSD uses advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to make decisions in real time. At the heart of FSD is a suite of neural networks, each specialized for different tasks. These networks are trained on millions of real-world driving scenarios, giving Tesla the unique ability to recognize and respond to an incredibly diverse range of situations. From identifying road signs and lane markings to predicting the behavior of other vehicles and pedestrians, these neural networks are constantly working to navigate the complex world of driving. But what really sets Tesla apart is their approach to data collection and training. Every Tesla vehicle on the road is essentially a data gathering node in a vast global network. As Tesla owners drive their cars, the vehicles are constantly collecting data about road conditions, traffic patterns, and driving behaviors. This data is then used to train and refine the neural networks, making the entire fleet smarter with every mile driven. To process all this data, Tesla has developed its own AI training computer called Dojo. This supercomputer specifically designed to train neural network. And in this case, it can be used for autonomous driving, allowing Tesla to iterate and improve their FSD system at a pace that's unmatched in the industry. And the hardware is impressive like the software. Tesla has developed its own custom AI chips designed specifically for autonomous driving. These chips, created under the leadership of Pete Bannon, formerly Apple's chip architect, are capable of processing vast amounts of data in real time, making split-second decisions as the car navigates complex driving scenarios. The vertical integration from chip design to software development to data collection gives Tesla a significant advantage over its competitors. While other companies are handcuffed and have to buy generalized hardware and clunky software, Tesla has built a fully integrated system optimized for autonomous driving. Imagine you want to create a computer company. How much easier would it be to buy a bunch of motherboards, a bunch of fans, a bunch of CPUs, and the like before assembling them together and shipping out those assembled computers? Because you could buy large amounts of each component, you'd get a discount, and it'd be much less of a headache to simply assemble computer parts than create them from scratch. I'm exaggerating, but this analogy is basically what car companies do. They just assemble cars rather than do what Tesla does, which is design almost every component from scratch. There are two main long-term advantages of this approach. Number one, the quality of the vehicles is much better as everything is optimized and more cohesive. And two, they can be more agile. They can make their own decisions. They don't have to call a manufacturer, tell them to change a component, experience delays in shipping, and then coordinate with the software developer to explain a change was made or the like. Instead, they can rapidly communicate with internal teams and coordinate changes quickly. This level of control allows Tesla to innovate more rapidly than their competitors. When they need a new chip to handle the computational demands of full self-driving, they can design it themselves. when they need to tweak the vehicle's hardware to better support autonomous driving, they can do so quickly and efficiently. Okay, again, I'm exaggerating, but I hope this illustrates the point. This approach of vertical integration is more challenging to pull off at the beginning, but since they've gotten it to work now, they're going to experience huge advantages over the long run. Who would stop them from getting to full self-driving first? Moreover, Tesla's focus on manufacturing efficiency shouldn't be overlooked. Elon Musk has repeatedly stated that he believes Tesla's long-term competitive advantage will be in manufacturing. This might seem surprising for a tech company, but it makes perfect sense when you consider the scale at which Tesla needs to operate to achieve its goals. By focusing on manufacturing efficiency, Tesla is positioning itself to produce electric, autonomous vehicles at a scale and cost that could be impossible for competitors to match. Now, let's zoom out and consider the broader implications of this technology. We're not just talking about making driving more convenient. We're talking about fundamentally reshaping our relationship with transportation and our cities themselves. Think about the potential impact on road safety. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, human error is responsible for about 94% of serious crashes. As FSD technology improves and becomes more widespread, we could see a dramatic reduction in accidents, potentially saving thousands or tens of thousands of lives each year. FSD could revolutionize mobility for those who currently struggle with transportation. I've noticed an interesting trend recently that really drives home this point. My mom has 3 friends who are all caring mothers, who have independently brought up the same exciting possibility. They're looking forward to a future where their loved ones, especially as they age, can be safely transported without needing to know how to drive. Imagine the positive impact this could have on our society. Elderly individuals who can no longer drive safely could maintain their independence and freedom. They could visit friends, attend medical appointments, or simply enjoy an outing without relying on others or risking their safety on the road. This isn't just about convenience, it's about dignity, quality of life, and social connection for our aging population. And it's not just the elderly who could benefit. Think about individuals with disabilities who currently struggle with transportation. FSD technology could open up a world of possibilities for them, enhancing their independence and access to opportunities. The implications for urban planning are equally profound. As cars become capable of dropping off passengers and then parking themselves, or even continuing on to serve other passengers, we could see a dramatic reduction in the need for parking in city centers. This could free up valuable urban space for parks, housing, or other community needs. Moreover, FSD could play a crucial role in the fight against climate change. By optimizing routes, reducing traffic congestion, and enabling more efficient ride sharing, autonomous vehicles could significantly reduce emissions from transportation, which currently accounts for a large portion of greenhouse gas emissions in many countries. Now let's talk about what all this means from an investment perspective. The financial implications of FSD are staggering, and I think the reason this is the case is because it requires a paradigm shift in thinking. No Wall Street analyst has ever seen this from a car company. There's simply no precedent. The current pricing of $8,000 upfront or $99 monthly subscription is just the beginning. As the technology improves and becomes capable of true autonomous driving, the value proposition changes dramatically. Imagine a future where your Tesla can operate as a robotaxi while you're not using it. If your Tesla could just make $10 per hour for 10 hours a night, 30 nights a month, that's $3,000 in your pocket. I think these estimates are pretty conservative, but with even more conservative estimates, we're still talking about significant potential earnings. But it's not just individual car owners who stand to benefit. For Tesla as a company, FSD represents a potential goldmine of high margin recurring revenue. Let's run some numbers to illustrate this point. If Tesla could charge just $299 per month for FSD on every car they have on the road, we're talking about $3,600 per year per car in recurring software revenue. Now let's dream big. Imagine Tesla's fleet grows to 5 million vehicles, increasing by 20% each year. Psych! Tesla's already past that. Let's say it eventually grows to 50 million vehicles. If they charge $999 per month for FSD, that's a staggering $600 billion per year in revenue. This is high margin software revenue we're talking about. Maybe the adoption rate isn't nearly 100%, so let's kick it down to 50%. Still Still, that's a ridiculous amount. To put this in perspective, that's more than the entire revenue of companies like Nike, Coca-Cola, and Apple combined. And it would just be one part of Tesla's business, alongside their vehicle sales, energy products, and other ventures. For reference, I created some charts to help us better visualize how significant the FSD software is compared to just the physical hardware parts of the vehicle sales. This first chart shows some projections for the FSD versus the hardware revenue. These numbers are just what Tesla makes in sales. Now, this chart is the same comparison of software versus hardware, but for profit. These numbers are what Tesla gets after expenses are accounted for. As you would expect, the cost of building physical cars is much higher than the cost of developing and maintaining software. As such, the margins are much better for software. Now, let's see how these two charts compare. You can see how meaningful of an impact the FSD software will have on the profitability of the business. Let's just focus on that. Look at this chart that compares the FSD revenue to FSD profit. I use some assumptions that I believe are conservative, and even still, you can see Tesla's profit ballooning to hundreds of billions of dollars every year. On top of that, they wouldn't just be making money upfront via the monthly subscription, they would also make money via a revenue share. Let's say 20% per mile driven. Not only would these miles be accrued with customer cars, but Tesla's own robotaxi fleet. There's literally just no stopping what's possible here. This fleet would operate as though Uber owned a fleet of self-driving cars. And here's another place it gets pretty interesting. Given Tesla's commitment to accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy and transportation, it's not hard to imagine a scenario where they license out their FSD technology to other automakers. We've already seen this happen with their supercharger network, where they've opened it up to competitors. If Tesla does decide to license FSD, the potential for expansion is mind-boggling. Imagine Tesla's software running on millions of vehicles from other manufacturers. The data collection and improvement cycle would accelerate even faster. And of course, this would likely translate into significant licensing revenue for Tesla. And there's another aspect of all this. Tesla's vehicles are just robots on four wheels. Have you heard about their humanoid robot named Optimus? Those are just getting started and will be much bigger than the vehicle business. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let me share another personal experience that really drives home the potential of this technology. Recently, my mom and I took a road trip from Southern California to Alberta, Canada. It was a long journey, spanning thousands of miles across diverse terrains and driving conditions. Throughout the trip, we had the chance to experience FSD for long stretches, especially on the freeway. The result is that my mom, who had been skeptical about autonomous driving technology, was completely won over. She was amazed at how much she could relax during the drive, even on long, monotonous stretches of highway. By the end of the trip, she was convinced that her next car would be a Tesla. This transformation from skeptic to enthusiast in the span of just one single long road trip really highlighted for me the power of this technology. It's one thing to read about FSD or watch videos about it online, but experiencing it firsthand, especially over an extended period, is truly eye-opening. And it's not just my mom. Whenever I take my friends for their first drive in my Tesla with FSD engaged, they're absolutely stunned. They can't believe how well the system works, and they're shocked that most people, including themselves, had no idea how advanced it already is. It's like watching someone experience the future for the first time. These experiences have convinced me that we're on the cusp of a transportation revolution. As more people experience FSD firsthand, I think we're going to see a rapid shift in the public perception and increased adoption of this technology. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but FSD isn't perfect yet. It's not truly self-driving. And you're right, there have been setbacks and controversies. Tesla has faced criticism for the name full self-driving when the system still requires driver attention. There have been some accidents and investigations. These are valid concerns, and it's important to address them head on. The development of autonomous driving technology is not without its challenges. There are complex technical hurdles to overcome, regulatory landscapes to navigate, and public trust to be earned. Let's quickly discuss some of these challenges. Number 1. Technical limitations. Achieving true Level 5 autonomy, where the car can drive itself under all conditions without any human intervention, is an incredibly complex challenge. Edge cases, or rare and unusual driving scenarios, are particularly difficult for AI systems to handle. Tesla has a unique advantage here, though, given the vast amounts of data they're able to collect with their rapidly growing fleet. This was highlighted in the latest 2024 Q2 earnings conference deck. This chart of Tesla's rapidly growing mileage driven on FSD was highlighted in their recent shareholder deck from 2024 Q2 earnings conference call. Many folks also argue that LiDAR, radar, and other superhuman sensors are necessary for full self-driving. As Elon's mentioned hundreds of times, we humans are meant to navigate roads that are intended for passive optical control. We just use our two biological cameras, our biological neural net, and sometimes our biological audio sensors, or our two eyes, our ears, and our brain. Tesla can mimic these and far surpass them with 8 cameras, a microphone, and highly trained digital neural net. Number 2, regulatory hurdles. And fully autonomous vehicles to become a reality, we need laws and regulations that allow them. This is a complex process that involves balancing innovation with public safety. This will admittedly take some time, but other companies like Google's Waymo and GM's Cruise have helped lay some of the groundwork for these efforts in Arizona, California, and Texas. Number 3, public trust. Convincing the public to trust their lives to an AI driver will take time and evidence of safety. High-profile accidents involving autonomous or semi-autonomous vehicles have heightened public scrutiny of the technology. This is an unfortunate element of this whole changing landscape. The media gives outsized attention to this tech just because it's new and novel. Despite having far fewer accidents per mile, people are disproportionately exposed to these accidents. Over time, there's simply no better teacher than just trying it yourself. Once a close family member or friend gets one and uses it consistently, they'll advocate for it. And soon enough, you will too. This has been the case for new consumer technologies for decades. Number 4, ethical dilemmas. I've often heard the hypothetical dilemma of wondering how an autonomous vehicle should behave in an unavoidable accident scenario. I think this is a poor question. Consider how frequently you're ever in this scenario. The car is sensing and reacting at a much faster rate. So does this make it more likely or less likely it's going to get into a hairy situation? I would vehemently argue it's less likely. As such, it'll just avoid bad situations, and dare I say, never get in a dilemma like this. Number 5, cybersecurity. As cars become more connected and software dependent, ensuring they're secure from hacking and other cyber threats becomes crucial. In my view, this is the most legitimate concern of these 5, about the adoption of self-driving vehicles. Of course, Tesla is doing and will do all they can to minimize the risk of this being an issue. But like with any tech, the more digital it becomes, the more likely a hack could occur. So what does this mean for Tesla as an investment? It means that when you buy Tesla stock, you're not just buying a piece of a car company, you're buying a piece of the future of transportation, energy, and artificial intelligence. The potential of full self-driving creates an asymmetric opportunity for investors. Right now, artificial intelligence is all the buzz, and Wall Street analysts aren't recognizing that Elon and the team are pioneering new AI developments at a rapid clip at Tesla. As I referenced before, who else is applying AI to the real world more than Tesla? And even if FSD doesn't meet expectations, Tesla is still the leader in the rapidly growing electric vehicle market, with a very strong position in the energy storage market as well. But if FSD does succeed, the upside is enormous. We will be looking at the most valuable company in the world. Many analysts still value Tesla primarily as an automotive company, without fully accounting for the potential of high-margin software revenue from FSD. This creates an excellent opportunity for us investors who do recognize the true potential of this technology. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about Tesla, check out this video. And also remember, this is just the second best reason to invest in Tesla stock. If you're curious about what the first best reason is, make sure to follow and subscribe to catch that video. Thanks for watching.